Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I think we're ready to come back online for a new day of streaming finally. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Vencabot. Game dev action. My name is David. Yes, up at a late start today. We had to do some kind of unusual stuff. One of those things was to get the screen resolution changed so we could actually maybe see what I'm typing this time, huh? I have made things a bit bigger for you guys so you can hopefully read our code. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. If you can't, I apologize. So let's see where we're at. Last time we started development on a Battleship clone in Python, multiplayer, over the internet. And we got as far as having each player have their own board, as you would in Battleship. And you're able to fire on different coordinates. Let's test the program, see where we're at. Let's launch the server here. That would be a pi. I think it's battleship underscore server.py. Okay, so the server is created. Now we're going to run the client here. That'd be pi battleship underscore client.py. I think it asks our name or something, right? Name, yeah, okay. So I'm going to say I'm David. Waiting for a second player. All right, then we go and get the second player here. So once again, we're going to type in pi, just command to launch a Python script. Battleship client.py. And my name is Splavid. Okay, so now we have two players, and we can fire on a tile, right? And they go 1 through 10 and A through J, I believe, right? So if I typed in J10, that would fire on the far corner down here. All right, so that's pretty decent. Now it strikes me that it's important in actual Battleship to be able to see your field and the enemy's field at the same exact time, right? So today I want to implement placing boats, right? We have no boats on the field yet. It's just a big empty ocean that you can fire, I guess, cannons at, right? That's kind of a drag. So in true Battleship, you would have two boards for each player, right? You would have their representation of the enemy's board and their representation of their own board. So that means we'd have the enemy board on top and our board on the bottom. So let's change our printing method right now and fix that right away. That's the first problem we have. So let's go to the server. I think that happens all in the server, right? Pretty much everything happens in the server. The client is just basically a text client, right? Look at the client code here real quick. The client code is very, very simple. Very, very simple. All it does is send and receive text. So the first thing it does is it creates a new connection to the server, in this case localhost at port 6666. And then it makes a thread for sending text and a thread for receiving text, and that's it. And these are very simple threads. So the receive forever just waits for text forever and prints it out. The send just waits for text and an input and sends it out. So yeah, the client is just basically a telnet client. In fact, I wonder if we could actually... I don't know how to run telnet on Windows, because we really don't need to have a separate client program. We're just complicating our situation right now. That's okay though. That means we're not going to touch this all day today, right? Let's just say that Battleship client is finished for today, because it is just a simple send and receive client, and it's not going to be anything more than that. We're going to have all of the logic actually happen at the Battleship server today. So let's just get rid of the client just for simplicity's sake. The client is just sending and receiving text. No big deal. We can definitely live with that for now. But the server, here's where all the game logic happens. This is considerably more complex, as you can see. Let's review what all this shit does. So we have a Battleship player. It's a class, right? It's like a conceptual object, right? So we have a player. The player has a connection to send and receive data on, an address so we know where they're at. That way we kind of the address in this case kind of acts like an ID number, because the username is not unique. You know, we could have both guys be named David, right? But ideally, there'd be a different address. Of course, that's not the case necessarily, but, you know, we're not going to worry about that. It's kind of a bug just later on. Each one has one board right now. We want to change that, right? Well, do we need two types of boards now, right? Because we need one board that we fire on, and it has no ships on it to our knowledge. Well, no, every player has one board of their own. Well, no, because they also have their own... Each player has two boards, right? They have a board where their ships are placed, and then they have a board where they can see where they have fired in the past. But that's not the case in two-player Battleship. Because if we only have 2 players, let's say, then you know the enemy's board is the board that you're seeing on your top, right? Just you don't see the ships, that's all. That's the only difference. Now, I've talked with my friend in Mutant Experience lately about how my fantasy in the long term for this Battleship clone is to add our own rules at some point, right? I want to have our own rules. And as a part of that, I want to actually have more than 2 players at a time playing Battleship. Which means I feel like it would make more sense for us to give each player a local board, like a board with their ships and a board where they're firing on. So players should have 2 boards. What should we call them? Right? We should have how about ally field and enemy field, right? Instead of boards. So let's call this like ally field, enemy field. Or how about ally map and enemy map, right? Because we don't really know the enemy's field. We have a map that we've made of them. So let's make instead of having self.board be board, we're going to have self.ally map be ally map. And self.enemy map be enemy map. Okay, so now we have a persistent map for each player. 2 maps, in fact. An ally map and an enemy map. So now you want to, we're printing off the map. Let's go to the, here's the server initialization, right? They have a coordinate map. That doesn't need to be in self, right? It doesn't need to happen every time we init. It needs to just be a constant. Let me fix that right now, if I can. I don't remember exactly how constants work in Python, like static variables, I should say. But what I do know for sure is that we don't need that initialized every single time. In fact, I think I want to capitalize this. So now we've broken 2 things already today. Right? We've broken anything that references that map as a new address now. And everything that wants to make a player needs to add in an enemy map. All right, let's see here. So we got self.players is an empty player list when we start the server. It has a new listen socket, that's good. It binds to a socket, that's great. Let's see here, it's listening forever. Okay. When we get a new connection, it prints off as a new connection from so-and-so. We get a new thread for that client. Okay, I gotcha. And that's a play Battleship. Here's the play Battleship function. So we're playing Battleship. It tries to send a connection as name. Then it receives a string and saves that as username.string, or username string. Then it makes a new board. Let's change this now. We're going to call this ally map instead of Battleship board. Ally map. We're also make a new one for the enemy map too. Even though it strikes me that certain features of the enemy map are not going to be utilized, right? Because we're not going to be placing boats on the enemy map on our side. But we'll live with that for now. Okay, so our player is a Battleship player, and he has an ally map and an enemy map now. Alright, so we've almost fixed our code here. So it should work again. So we're going to append our player to the server's list of players. And if there's less than 2 players, we say waiting for second player. Okay, we do that forever until we get another player. So username string, so we print off when the user joins, we have 2 players. Okay. Now we're going to be firing forever. It said while true, so as long as true is true, it'll always be true. We're going to send a message saying fire on what tile. Then whatever we receive, we're going to save that as a coordinate. We're going to fire on that spot. Okay. Fire on the tile on the opponent.board. How do we know who the opponent is? Where are we saving the opponent? Here we go. Opponent equals player. Okay. So, the opponent's ally board that we're firing on. So we need to fire on... Here's the issue, right? When we fire on a tile, how does it decide if there's a hit or not? That's my question. How does it decide if it's a hit or not? So we generate a board. What do we got here? We get a matrix, and every spot in the matrix has 2 spots. None and none. I think that the first slot is if there's a ship in that spot, and the second spot is if there's a peg in that spot. Right? Maybe. Let's go down to fire on tile. Yeah, so the first spot is if there's a ship in the spot, and the second spot is the peg. Yeah, and I feel like let's say we had more than 2 players for Battleship, but does every player need their own unique opponent board? An enemy field. Because right now we have an ally field and an enemy field for the player. I think that we are actually overthinking this for now, right? Let's dial it back. We've busted something here. But here's what we're going to do then. We're going to actually get rid of the enemy map. We're going to assume there's only one enemy and only one ally, right? We're not going to have no multiplayer shit yet. Let's not worry about that. So we have one ally and one enemy map. So we're going to go back down here in that case, and we're going to generate only one board, the ally map. We're going to only send that one board. So now everything should work again, for the most part. So what else got busted here? Here we go. All right, ally map. All right, players, pinned our player, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we're going to print off the opponent's board here. So we're going to say this is the opponent's ally map, actually, on top. So do we have a print board function? We do. So here's where things get complicated. Because we need to be able to print... we need to be able to print 2 different styles of board, right? We need to be able to print our local board, which will show our ships on it. And we need to print an enemy's board, which will not show their ships. That's the issue we have. So we need more than one print board function. So for now, why don't we just have a variable here, like print board, and we're going to say like show ships, right? We're going to have that, we're going to leave that as a required variable. All right. So let's see here. So we're going to fire on the tile. It's not going to be called opponent.board anymore. It's going to be called opponent.ally, or ally map. Which means we have to break this line here, because it's getting pretty long. All right. We're going to print the board. It's not going to be opponent.board anymore. It's going to be opponent.ally map. This is getting like a really long line, right? we're going to call this, well, here's what we can do. We can, for one thing, we can call it print map instead of print board. Because we're changing our internal nomenclature. So instead of generating maps, generating boards, going to generate maps from now on. All right. Now instead of printing boards, we're going to print a map. Instead of having a board, we're going to have a map. All right. So now we're going to say, where's the empty spot, right? If the column is none, we're going to say if the column is none, that is to say there's no hit or miss there, then we're going to say if show ships is false, then just print an empty spot there all the time. But, you know, if it's true, then we're going to say if column 0 is none, then we're going to just, you know, add an empty spot. However, if it's not none, that means if there's a ship there in that spot, we're going to print a capital S to say there's a ship there. Okay. But show ship is going to always be false for our purposes for now. Because we don't have a way to place ships yet. So we're going to say, anytime we want to print a board, we're going to... oh no, map is a protected term, huh? So we're going to call this, how about, you know, we'll just call it board then. Fine, you win. We'll call it board. All right. So where are we now then? I think we're in pretty good shape. This code is really fucking ugly. I'm going to come back here and clean it up once we have a working version here. Alright, so fire on tile is fine for now. What's up, oh hi there? Printing strings. Is that a Vim command? Did I say I got a bad print string? I think everything's... Oh, wow! Jesus, oh, hi there. You're a fucking legend. Thank you, dude. Didn't know you were a fucking programmer, dude. Yeah, I recognize Vim replace. That's sick, dude. Thank you. Save me some trouble there. I guess it means that the font size is almost big enough. Alright, so where are we at? How's your day, bro? So now I want to print off both boards, but I have to fix this line, dude. This line is getting hella long. So basically, I want to put like, we're going to call this like printed map, I guess, right? How about printed ally map? No, this would be the printed enemy map, right? Printed enemy map equals opponent.ally map. Oh, it's so confusing. Gotta fix that. Ally map. We're gonna actually do. I think it shouldn't be the print map function. Maybe we should have like a board object. We'll figure that out later. Just get this working first of all. Okay. So now we can go up here and be like, you know, printed enemy map. There we go. So a lot of guys I know here from Twitch are developers. False. That's the you know, the variable there for showing the ships. We don't want to show any ships on that side. All right, so now we need to make a printed ally map, though. Printed ally map is, you know, print map player.ally map. And we're going to say true. We want to show those ships if we have them. We don't have any ships yet. And I want to combine them. So I'm just going to say, like, you know, full board equals, you know, it's going to be the enemy map on top, right? So it's going to be something like this. It'll be like that, and then like that. We're going to do like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then another one of these, and then something like that. And we're going to format it. Oh, they're going to follow. What does that say? A flow 135? Sounds like it seems like it might be an elite. Flowless? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Welcome aboard, dude. We're doing some Python programming here. I'm kind of a scrub. I apologize. I'm doing something really terrible. I know that I am. Let's see here. So we got boards. Well, I want to do like the enemy board on top, right? Oh my god, these variable names are so long. Here's what I'm going to do. Like that. Printed ally map. Oh yeah. I'm going to come back and fix this later, guys. I apologize about this nastiness. I'm going to come through and fix this, all this ugliness once I have a hacked version working, more or less. All right, so now we need one thing to fix, right? And that's over here at the fire on tile. We changed a variable name. We changed self, you know, dot letter coordinate map to being just letter coordinate map. I'm not sure how you reference static variables. Maybe just like that, huh? Or maybe it would be self. Or maybe you have to put the class name in there. I don't know for sure. This might just totally crash. But I think this should work now, barring that, you know, shortcoming. Let's kill this then. This is the server. It's kind of weird how on Windows use Control Pause, but on Linux use Control C. It's kind of frustrating. Especially I don't know where the pause key is. I have to always look every single time. Okay, so now let's go back up here and start the server. Okay, so far so good. Here's where shit's going to go awry. Well, no, it's going to go awry when we try and fire on the board, right? So we have to get both players connected first before it'll crash. All right, so this name's going to be David. Right, so waiting for second player. Nice. Let's go down here. Name's going to be Splavid. So we're going to be firing. Let's fire on, you know, M1A1, 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, something went horribly wrong. As predicted. So letter coordinate map is not defined. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. But it's right here. I'm not sure how to reference a static variable. Do we use self? Do we have to, I mean, if we use Battleship server dot, it's not going to... I don't know. Hang on. Let me just Google that real quick. How to use this? Should be fine with self. Okay. I think you either. Are you a Python developer? Define inside the class method, but not inside the class method. Our class or static variable. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Predictable. Predictable! Yeah, but how do you reference it from inside? Sounds like maybe I'll just use self, huh? Let's do self. I'm going to trust oh hi there. Great recipe of Python, but really enjoyed it. Yeah, me too, dude. Python is the best. So I started off with, you know, as a kid with Java. And then I learned C++. And now I only use Python for anything, because I don't like to have all those goddamn curly brackets around, mostly. Also, I like not having to compile, which is kind of nice. Alright, so here we are. Born to be kings for the princes of the universe. Let's just go back down here to the firing spot and change it to self. Hopefully that works. I don't see why... oh, Hyther would lie to us. Seems like a pretty honest guy. Alright, so now we can kill all these as well. These would die automatically, but they're running a bunch of threads. So they stay awake until I kill them manually. I could fix that, but we're going to worry about all that stuff later on once we have a working game. Yeah, exactly, Fakui. But word, dude. It's compiled automatically in Python. Alright, so the name, that would be, you know... Well, no, it's not compiled, is it, Fakui? Unless you count the, you know, the .pyc file. I guess that does kind of count, right? It's interpreted in real time, right? So that, I don't think it's ever compiled. Not like Java is, right? Alright, let's see here. David, I could be very wrong. I'm not really super smart. My name is Splavit. Alright, so we're firing on tiles now. Let's go. M1A1, 1,000 miles an hour. You know what strikes me? No, we're not taking turns. I can just fire on their tile forever, like a million times in a row, and they can't ever fire on me. I mean, they can... Whoever fires the fastest wins. Alright, so we got... Oh, no, something's still wrong. Why do I only have one board here? Well, that seems weird. Oh, right. It's because of this. I have to fix this part here. Yeah, we're only sending the printed map, not the full board. Duh. Alright, let's go here. Full board. There we go. Alright, let's start over again. Want proof? Import dis. Then do dis.dis some function. I don't even know what dis is. What's dis? What is dis? If I'm importing dis, what am I importing? Alright, so I want to kill these programs again. Kill you, and kill you. Alright, let's start over again. Launch you, David, and launch you. Disassembly. So I can disassemble some function. Maybe I'll look into that right now. So I can fire on a tile. I want to see now both of my boards. There we go. Oh, but it's not working though. It's showing the same board twice. Well, that's not right. Alright. So why is the opponent ally map and the player ally map the same? Let's go to this side. Let's go to you. You go ahead and fire on J10. Okay, so it's showing the same board twice, but not showing the other board. That's weird. Did you say that that was static? If so, you can get it with class name. Yeah, but can you get that with class name dot within the class itself? That would be my fear. Because the class itself wouldn't be a thing yet. So I'm self-taught. I apologize if I sound like a total idiot. I've been doing this for many years, but I don't know all the correct terminology. But I feel like if I reference it by its own name within itself, it would not be defined yet. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Alright, so yeah, I'm getting the same board twice, but it's not the same board on both sides. So something is not right. Something is quite wrong. So here's, opponent.ally map and player. Wait. Who the hell's player? I want our player. this player is defined somewhere else, right? Player is defined here. This is why you need to have better variable names. All right, so we're gonna change this to our player. That should work now. I'm sorry, guys. I know this code is hideous. Just trying to hack it together for now, make it work. Once it's working, we can go through and make it nicer. All right, so we got the server running, correct? No. Launch the server now. Launch you now. My name's David, you know me. How quickly you forget. Good, but hey, what are you trying to do right now? We're trying to get Battleship working. Homegrown, online version of Battleship. My goal in the long term is to kind of be able to add our own rules here. We're going to first get Battleship working, you know, classic Battleship, vanilla, if you will. And then over time, I want to add in our own variants. Just because before I was a streamer, I used to enjoy hobby programming. And now that I'm streaming, I have no time to do that anymore. So I thought I'd do it on stream to kill two birds with one stone. And see if anybody wanted to watch. If you guys are totally fucking bored, I understand, though. It's not exactly third strike. All right, let's see here. So let's go A1. This is basically self-indulgence, what I'm saying. This is self-indulgence. I'm just taking some time here, do some programming, just for fun. All right, so now we have that. So now the enemy can fire on our board. Yeah, I'm streaming full-time, dude. I stream 40 hours a week. And then when the stream ends, I work on the stream for another, 20 to 30 hours a week. So it's my whole life. I'm more than a full-time streamer. Streaming is, I am a streamer profoundly. I'm nothing but a streamer. Sometimes it's a little bit melancholy. Okay, so we fired on J10. And they fired on A1. So now we have a classic Battleship board where we can see, where we fired here on the top. And we see where they fired here at the bottom. Now, the issue is we have no ships yet. So we can't even see our own ships. We have no ships. Oh, good stuff, good vibe. Yeah, if you want, you can open up Notepad. We can just fucking stop this right now and just do some beginner stuff. If you want to learn. So I'd love to teach, even though I'm not really the most qualified teacher. I'm self-taught, but for many years. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident. But I probably don't use, all best practices because I'm not educated. But if you want, we can definitely walk you through Hello World and all that good stuff. Alright, so yeah, we have a board on top and a board on bottom. I know it looks like nothing to you guys. But, so now we need to take turns, right? Let's not worry about placing ships yet. Because right now it strikes me that we're both taking our turns at the same time. I could fire a million times in a row. Right? I could just fire on him at will, right? Like, let's do like, J9, J8, J7. Yeah, I can just fire forever, right? And he gets no turns. That's not how you play Battleship, man. We've got to have a turn-taking system. So let's decide how we're going to do that. Thank you, Fakwi. with the quick lessons. That's the 101 right there. That one-line 101. All right, so good vibe. What we're looking at here is we've got, objects. Like the player is like a conceptual object, right? That's the player. Think of him as like a person. We have the server, which is where all the rules happen. It's kind of like the game world. And we have all these functions which do things in that game world. When you see def, def init, def play Battleship, def generate map, def print map, def fire on tile. That's me putting in some logic there to execute some kind of command in the world. And all this stuff here is just a bunch of game logic. It seems like a bunch of gobbledygook until you learn how to read it. But basically telling the game how to act, like my mom did when I was a kid. For me. Okay, so we want to take turns, right? So instead of just sending fire on what tile while true, we have to only send it to this player if it's their turn. The thing is, play Battleship is happening in a thread for each player. Right? So the server itself has to save whose turn is whose. So basically we need to say, like, current turn. We need to save a turn, right? So we're going to say, like, you know, in the server level, it's going to say, you know, self dot current turn, and that will equal, you know, some player once we have some players. Right now, when we initialize it, it starts off as none. But when someone's connected, when the first guy is connected, we're going to make it his turn first. So let's see here. So once we have 2 players, right, we're going to print off this message here. Connected players. Okay. So before we get anything, let's decide on whose turn it is. We're going to say self.currentTurn is just self.players, whoever's in the first slot, right? That's the variable name, right? Self.players. Yeah, whoever's in the first slot is going to get the first turn. Whoever connected first gets the first turn. You snooze, you lose, dickweed. Okay, so now we have a current turn. That's fucking great. So here's what we want to do then. We want to say, you know, while true, you know, while this doesn't seem right. We're gonna do it dumb first. I don't want to think, right? I just want to type in stuff. I don't want to think. Let's just go while self dot current turn is you know, our player, then do all this shit. You know, ask him what coordinate he wants to fire on, print the map out, all that good stuff. I have to break the line again. I hate all these broken lines. So that's because my long-ass variable names. I don't want to have to comment the code. I think it's, you know, I kind of like that practice. Having long variable names and just having more lines. But really, I like having more lines more than having broken lines. I need to go back here and fix this for sure. This is fucking hideous. We'd also put all this logic into a function. That way we don't have so much indenting going on. But whatever. Okay, so now we have all this shit. We've sent the command. We've sent the text. But now it's not going to be our turn anymore. So I'm going to say, you know, self dot current turn equals, you know, opponent. Right, so now it's his turn. But here's the thing, it's going to keep looping while it's true. If I don't actually wait here, then we're going to, like, sleep for, like, I don't know, 5 seconds. So that way, if, yeah, we're not going to just loop again while true, right? We're not going to just loop again. We're going to wait 5 seconds between loops. Then we're not just looping forever. Thank you for the follow, Thanos DB. We're like a variety stream here. We don't really stream programming that much. I'd like to stream more. I'm actually a variety streamer. We stream a lot of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, among other cool games like Final Fantasy Tactics, you know, different genres and stuff like that. Mostly gaming, but here on Fridays I want to try and do like a programming block, just so I can get my creative wiggles out. How you doing, homie? Nice to meet you, man. I'm David, by the way. Okay, so time.sleep 5, that's fine. So I feel like this... I'm forgetting something, right? But it's kind of hard to think on stream. If you're a streamer, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to run it. Fuck thinking. I'm going to run it and see what happens. I feel like... Here's the problem we're going to have, right? When my opponent takes a turn, we should probably get something on our side. We should see where they fired on. That's the problem. But let's just make sure this works at all. The problem is we only see the board after we fire, not when they fire. That's going to be an issue. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's just make sure that this all still works. Okay, so look at it. It's not my turn. See, I have nothing here. I can't do jack shit. I can send data, though. So that's going to be a problem, you would think, right? But oh well, we'll worry about that later. So I can fire. I'm going to fire on tile A3. Now I'll see the board. Okay, A3 is fine. Now we're waiting 5 seconds. There we go. Okay, so now I want to fire on a tile. I'm going to fire on, you know, B4. Sure. All right. So now it's going to be this guy's turn again. All right, well, that's working. Right, I'm going to just go to, like, J10, you know, the corner. All right, now we're waiting to get a turn. Okay, so that's all working. But now what happens if I fire on something that's not my turn? Like, you know, gobbledygook. Blah, blah, blah. Herp derp. So I think, here's what I think. I think it's gonna make a hypothesis, right? It's gonna get the coordinate, right? It's gonna get a really whack coordinate, because it's gonna be waiting to receive. It's gonna receive whatever the first data it can get. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna get a really weird coordinate. It's gonna be called gobbledygook. It's not gonna be able to process it at all. So I have to be able to discard whatever it gets when it's not his turn. But anyway, let's just, you know, we gotta get to, let's just make this, you know, be, you know, 10. It's fine. So now we're gonna get something to crash, right? Yeah, invalid literal for integer. Okay, okay. Yeah, so we got all that when it received. Shit I was typing in when it wasn't my turn anymore. All right, makes sense. So how are we going to discard the data that it gets when it's not our turn? Can I, like, receive, and there's nothing to receive, then just give up receiving? Right? Can I just, like, put a receive block up here? Like, you know, receive if there's something to receive. Otherwise, don't block. That's what I want to do. Let's go look at that. Maybe there's something we can do about that, huh? So let's go to the library reference here. I think we're just using raw-ass sockets. Alright, so I want to find, like, receive. Blah, 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 blah. Receive. Receive data from the socket. The return value is a bytes object representing the data received. Okay, it's the max amount of data to receive. That's the buffer size. What kind of flags can we put in there? So we can put some kind of flags. What's receive from? What's receive message? So receive from is receive data from the socket. Okay, that's just like this. It's a pair of bytes and address. Oh, okay. I don't give a shit about that. It gives you an address for receiving from. Receive message. Okay, receives normal data up to buffer size. This actually might be useful if we didn't want to use threads, maybe. And ancillary data. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, don't want to receive anything into anything else. All right, well, let's look at these flags. We've got some kind of flag we can use. See the UX manual page. What? I don't want to. Can I just click on something and see what the fucking flags are? Well, let's see here. I basically want to check the buffer, right? I don't want to. I just want to check the buffer. And if there's anything in the buffer, then discard it, right? How can I check the buffer without blocking? That's my issue I'm having. Okay. We can apparently set blocking, some kind of blocking flag. I'll look at that later. I really feel like I should be able to check the buffer somehow without having to wait until there's something in there. Let's see, let's go back up above receive. All right, receive, blah, blah, blah. Timeouts. Okay, connections, closing, binding, accepting. Okay, I maybe just have to look to Google for this. I have to Google it. Let's try that. Let's just go like, you know, Python socket, you know, receive without blocking. Okay, so apparently we can make the socket itself non-blocking, maybe just temporarily. Okay, so what he's read is that socket.receive will return whatever it can read or an empty string if the other shut down. Okay, that's fine. It's great for blocking sockets, but if it's non-blocking, what happens? Okay. In the case of a non-blocking socket that has no data available, receive will throw the socket.error exception, and the value of the exception will have an error number. Okay, so you try and receive something, there's no data there. It'll throw an error message, huh? You can, of course, catch that error. So I should make the socket non-blocking for a minute. Let's try that. Hey, what's up, Nacho? How you doing, homie? Yeah, we're all devs, huh? We're on the 3.6, I think. Yeah, I'm on 3.6 Python. Everybody I know is a dev. Bunch of secret devs here. So I'm going to set the socket to non-blocking. And then receive. Here. So let's just do like, I think it's con, right? Or is that the connection object? Where's my socket? We don't have a socket that I can access, huh? All I have is a connection object. But is a connection object a socket? I've always been confused about that in Python. Is there like a separate connection thing? I think connections are just new sockets, right? They're the same thing. Okay. Hey, Python on Windows always get troubles on compiling. Yeah, it's weird on Windows. You have to make sure you're running the right command. You have to run py, not Python. The py command, you can configure that to run which version you want. I think your problem might be, I had the same problem when I had Python 2 and 3 installed at the same time. It caused all kinds of errors unless I ran with py instead of Python. So connection is a is a socket. So I want to say con.setBlocking false, right? And then I want to just receive whatever. I don't care what I receive. Just to clear the buffer. And then con.setBlocking true. That seems really dumb. But hopefully it works. That seems pretty dumb. But so am I. Alright, so I mean, hypothetically that should give me an error message, right? That's what I read. If there's no data to receive. So let's just see what the fuck happens here. There ain't no telling. Live and learn. So we're going to launch the server again. Everything seems to be working. We're going to launch a client here. Fakui says, what are you trying to accomplish by setting the socket to non-blocking? Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. Let me explain it to you. Maybe you can help me out. What I'm trying to accomplish here is... the way it works right now is that when it's not your turn... well, I'll demonstrate. I'm sorry, it's a little bit hard to explain. David. Okay, we're going to make a second player here. Splavid. Alright, so now it's going to be this guy's turn. It's somebody's turn, right? Or we have some kind of weird non-blocking situation here. Okay, so I broke something. So I'm going to demonstrate to you to Fakui. I'm going to actually close all these and take that code out of there again to show you what my problem is. The problem I'm trying to solve. Oh, here's a problem. I received at least one argument. That's fine. So I didn't give it a buffer size. That's fine, though. I'm going to still take the code out. Maybe you can help me find a better solution. So let's just comment this code out. Okay, so I'm going to show you what my issue is here. Let's relaunch the server. Connect with one player. My name is going to be David. I get the second player in here. That's going to be Splavid. Okay, so now we have two connected clients, right? One is Splavid, one's David. Here's David right here. He has the command fire on what tile? That's my prompt. So I can choose what tile to fire on. You know, it's a Battleship, it's whatever, you know, Battleship. But meanwhile, Splavid here, he's waiting. It's not his turn, right? It's not my guy's turn. He's waiting for his turn. So I can say, you know, I want to fire on, you know, J10. It's the lower right-hand corner. There you go. So I fired on A10 or J10 down there. Now it's not David's turn anymore. But hey, now it's Splavid's turn. Nice. Right, now it's Splavid's turn. Now here's my issue. I'm going to say I'm going to fire on A1. You know, that's fine. Good. So now I've got the spot fired on. And now it's not my turn anymore. Now it should be David's turn again. Just give him a second. There he is. So here's my issue. If I enter commands as Splavid, while it's not his turn, it's not my turn, I can be like, you know, I want to go, you know, blend, you know, garbage, you know, J10, whatever I want to do, right? Now when it becomes his turn, we get a crash. But it hasn't crashed yet. No. So when it becomes his turn, we get a crash. So I'm going to say I want to fire on, you know, B5. Okay, that's cool. But see, now we have this nonsense, right? Invalid literal. Because it's trying to process all those things I sent when it was my turn as coordinates, right? But I want to ignore whatever comes, whatever data is received when it's not my turn. Because in my code here, when it becomes my turn, see, one self, that current turn is our player, it receives, you know, 1024 bytes or whatever, bits or bytes or whatever those are. It receives this much data. And if the buffer already has stuff in it when it wasn't my turn, then I have this shit that I'm reading. So I want to basically discard, the buffer. I want to flush the buffer before our turn starts. How do I flush the buffer before our turn starts? That's the issue I'm having right now. I'm thinking I'm going to set the socket to non-blocking, and then, you know, receive data if it's there, and you know, and then set it back to blocking again for this little pause here. Because if it's blocking and I try and receive, then we have to have data in there, right? We have to wait for data to come in. But if it's non-blocking, we can just receive, you know, nothing, and then just, you know, we're done. I'm satisfied with that. That's the issue I'm having. I think this solution is workable for now, but if you have a better solution, faculty, please let me know. So I think this is going to cause an error message if I get no data. That's what I think, and that's what I want. I can just catch that error then. But my hope is that we get that error message I read about, the, you know, the needs blocking or whatever. That'd make my life a lot easier. So let's launch the server again. Okay, and we're going to launch this client. You're going to be David. We'll get the second client in there now. You can be Splavid. Okay, so now something crashed. Yeah, here it is, blocking IO error. A non-blocking socket operation could not be completed immediately. Could not be completed immediately. What does that mean? Is that what I want? Let's see here. Okay, I bet you that is the error that I want. Let me review that error message. It's a blocking I/O error. A non-blocking socket operation could not be completed immediately because there was no data to receive, right? That's fine. I don't mind not having no data to receive. That's what I want. So I'm going to go back here, and I am going to... That's what I'm thinking, yeah, Fakwi. So I'm just going to catch that error. So I'm going to try this. And I'm going to accept, you know, blocking I/O error. And I'm just going to pass. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to set it back to blocking again. As in, the non-blocking operation would have blocked, waiting for data. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Fakui. It's kind of what I thought. So So I think this should work now. That should discard the data that I don't want when it's not my turn. That's what I think. Let's kill this program. Again, the reason it stays alive is because it's got threads running. If I were going to go back and clean this up a little bit, which I intend to do probably next time we stream some game dev, I think that I would definitely maybe try and get rid of all these threads. I don't think I need these threads. Probably just, coordinate some stuff internally, not lean on threads so heavily. Let's launch this again. We got a new server here. Let's get a client going. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I want to do this first. Name's David. Get on here. Name's Splavid. Okay, so we got David and Splavid. Now I'm going to just, it's my turn, so I'm going to fire on tile J10. That seems to work. Now it should be my turn here in a few seconds. I'm going to fire on tile, what's nice and centric, C8-ish. Okay, so that's all well and good. I'm firing on C8, you already fired on J10. That's great. That's just fucking great. Now it's my turn over here on David, but hey, this Splavid gets a little bit naughty and says, fuck! Fuck! When's it gonna be my fucking turn? Fuck! Alright, so now that data should be discarded, right? Once it becomes my turn anyway. So I believe right now the server not even aware of it, right? Hasn't received any data yet because it's waiting for him to get his turn. Let's take my turn then on David's side. Let's say I want to fire on, D9. Okay, so now it's my turn over here. Yo, let's go! So yeah, so we effectively, we pulled for data, we got some, we threw it away. If there was no data there to find, doesn't matter, it just accepts the error. Nice. There probably is a better way to solve that problem. I should be able to check the buffer, you would think, right? There's got to be a way to check the buffer without, having to wait for there to be data in there. There has to be a way. I guess I'm looking for is how can I check the data without flushing? Because receive also flushes, right? It takes the data out. I want to check the data but leave it in there. Okay, that's fine though. I'm looking for something lower level than receive, I guess what I'm saying. Something lower level than receive. I don't want to, take the data and flush it out. I want to just check it. And then if it's there, then, delete it manually or whatever. That's fine. But okay, it's all well and good. So we got that working. Now we're taking turns. We're ignoring anything between turns. I think now is the time to start worrying about placing ships. I have about an hour of game dev left before we play some Final Fantasy Tactics here on the stream. I think my fantasy, my sexual fantasy for getting ships placed would be, if we're doing it all in text anyway, right? I want a prompt for each boat. Like, where do you want to place your submarine? Where do you want to place your battleship? And then I want to have the player input something like, a coordinate range. Let's say, J10 through D10, right? That'd probably be pretty long. That's way too long. But you know what I mean? It'd be a range. And then the server would check that range to make sure it's the right length. And if it's not, it'll give you a message being like, yo, okay, you only have, the ship is two spots long, 2 tiles long. Give me a 2-tile range. And go on like that for each ship, for each player. So here's what I think we need right off the bat. I want to create a function that's going to handle all that for me. I don't want to keep putting more and more logic into play Battleship. In fact, I want to remove some logic from here. I want to remove all this shit. I want to put this into its own function. But for now, let's get like a place ships function, right? Like a place ships. Right? This is so ugly. This code is so bad. I apologize, guys. It's kind of, when you're streaming development, you're kind of trying to move quickly, and things are a little bit really fucking ugly. Let's go with, def place ships self. And then we want, like, a connection, right? Because we're going to be sending data back and forth. we want a player as well. So we want like a player and a connection. Because we're going to have to place shit on the player's board. So we have to know who the player is. All right. So, first of all, I don't know how to play Battleship. That's our first issue. That's our first problem. So let's go to Wikipedia and look up Battleship. How many boats do we have and how long are they? Oh, it's not the... I want the fucking game, dude. Not an actual Battleship. You crazy? Alright, blah, 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 blah. History. I just want to read the rules, man. Here we go. So we have 5 ships. And 2... Oh, we have submarine and a cruiser. Okay. I always thought that the 2 was a submarine. Shows what I know. Alright. I apologize, I guys can't read anything in the text box over there while I have this text underneath it. Alright, so let's place them from largest to smallest. Let's go back over here. So, this is already making my head hurt. Let's send a request, like a prompt, right? And the prompt is going to be like, it's going to say place carrier. 5 tiles. 5 tile range. We're going to actually have to make sure it's extra stripped down and encoded. Alright. I was going to wait for a range. So we're going to say, like, you know, tile range. You know, carrier tile range equals. Now, of course, logically, the best way to do this would be to have this be done programmatically, not like in one long string of logic. But I'm going to just do it this way, quick and dirty, and then go back and make it a little bit shorter with some kind of loop. We're not going to. But I'm saying we're not going to loop that much here. I apologize in advance. How does this get moved over here? I told myself I wasn't going to be moving this stuff around. All right. So, can I actually go back here somewhere so I can see what's going on over there? All right. So, we've got a carrier tile range, and it's going to be something we receive right from the connection. So it's going to be, you know, receive, you know, 1024 bytes. We have to decode it probably. Right. So now we've got some kind of string that we're going to just trust is formatted correctly. It's going to be formatted with, you know, a letter and then a decimal number and then a dash or a hyphen and then another one, another coordinate. So, oh man, that make my head hurt. Let's go. I want to split that whatever we receive, you know, the tile range into 2 different tiles. Then we gotta find how far apart they are. We have to have some kind of really coordinate orientation. So you mean, like, instead of doing a range, like my plan was to do, like, you know, player enters a range. It would be like, you know, for a 5 tile long range, it would be J10 through J5, right? And then that has some kind of logic that would make sure that, yeah, so that's what Fakwi's saying. He's doing something different. He would do coordinate and orientation. So you would do, like, so, you know, Fakwi's solution would be like J10 up, right? And then that would know to go all the way to J5. And then if we said, you know, if we said J10 down, then, you know, then the logic would report an error, right? Because it can't go down from there. J10 is the far lower right-hand corner. I think your idea is actually better. I like your idea more, Fakwi. That does sound a lot easier. You would pick a tile, and then you would decide which way it goes. J10 horizontal or J10 vertical? And you would say that horizontal always goes down, and vertical always goes right? That's simpler. That's simpler. For the record, Fakwi, we're just doing this really quick and dirty. I don't intend for this to be played this way. I want it to be played with a web UI at some point. This is just me. This all is just for testing. You know, all the. I kind of like your idea of having, like, you know, J10H. But for the record, the idea is not to have any players actually play the game in text. This is just my way of making this work. Okay. I like your idea, Fakwi. I like your idea a lot. So basically, all we really need insofar as error checking is to make sure that it will fit where they try to put it. Again, so if they said J10, it would always error out because it cannot go down from there. I mean, excuse me, J10V, right? That would always error out because there is no ship of only one tile. So, it strikes me. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I don't want to work on this place ships function where we're asking the user to place ships. I want a function that I can just place ships, you know, programmatically, right? Because that's where the meat's going to be. It's the meat and potatoes, right? We have to be able to place ships, first of all, before we start prompting the player for anything. So I need, you know, let's repurpose this. We're going to have a place ship function. Right, and it's going to be like, you know, we're going to need a board. And we're going to need a coordinate. I'm going to call it chord. Orientation. And ship size. That's what I need. I need those things. We have the board. Our board is just a it's a two-dimensional matrix, and it's got these things here. This tuple. The tuple only has, you know, two, you know, indexes, two spots, and the first spot is, you know, whether there's a ship there or not. That strikes me. We need to have a ship object, because each ship needs to have... No, it doesn't need to have hit points or anything. Not yet. Actually, yeah, it should have hit points. That way we can get a message that says, you know, you sunk my battleship, right? I want the ship to be an object itself. So we don't even need ship size, then. We need a ship. Because the ship itself will have a size. So let's go make a ship real quick. Class ship. Def init. I want to have, you know, like a name. Not, I think name's probably a protected word, right? Let's go with, you know, ship name. And length. Ship length. That's all I really care about. It's going to start off with HP equal to its ship length. This is the perfect opportunity to create a function that takes in a ship, size, and number of tiles, a position to place that ship, coordinate orientation, or even coordinate endchord. Okay, as well as a map, which may or partially be filled in. Returns true if the map can be placed, false if it does not fit. That's what we're doing right now. That's this spot right here. Just like you described it, right? It has a board. It has the ship. It's got the coordinate orientation. Yeah, so it's kind of like what you just described. In fact, I need to complete this before I forget. What we're doing right now is this place ship thing. It's going to either place a ship or it's going to throw an error message. I think me and you are on the same exact page, Fakwi. All right, so I want it to have a ship name. And I want it to, you know what, ship blank, I don't like that. Let's just go with ship size. Let's go with size. Let's go with ship size. All right, so it's going to have, wow, I can't spell. Sorry about that. And then we're going to go with, you know, self.current. Let's just go with self. You know, HP. That's fine. And it's going to start off as the ship size. And as it takes hits, it's going to get lower and lower HP. If it has 0 HP, we're going to print off you sunk, you know, ship name. You sunk ship name. That's all it really needs is a name, size, and HP. Okay, so now, yes, we're going to get a ship. We're going to get a ship right here. Place ship. We're going to board and a coordinate, orientation, and a ship. That's great. We know the ship has a length now, or a size, and a name. So we have the board. And we have the chord. So I'm going to actually not worry about the error message yet. We're just going to place this fucking ship, come hell or high water. If it crashes the game, no big deal, right? That's my mind state right now. Just place it. If it crashes the game, no big deal. So we have the coordinate, right? It's going to be JSON. We have to decode the coordinate first of all into something we can read. We do that same thing over here in Fire on Tile. We should just take this logic out and make it its own function. Let's do that right now. So I want to do like def translate chord to YX. Right. I think that's how it works. Let me see here. Our letter chord and number coordinate. We get the number coordinate first. Let's just translate it to XY in that case. All right, all we want is a coordinate string. So we're going to say, you know, I can just copy this code, I guess, huh? Okay, so, yeah. That works. We want, we only want to return, right? We want to return it, like, return a tuple. It's going to be number chord, letter chord, like that. So now we can go up here, for instance, and we can say, you know, number chord, letter chord. Let's just go with X and Y. You know, X, Y equals translate chord to XY coordinate string. Then we can say X, Y. All right. That should work. Let me make sure that works. I probably did break something. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't tested anything in a minute. By the way, guys, you're enjoying the music of my friend Albdat. Probably can barely hear it. That's by design. I'm mostly using it kind of like white noise, just to keep from being totally silent here. He's an ambient composer. I'm a big fan of his work. He's very moody and atmospheric. I find that it helps me focus when I'm programming and stuff. If you're enjoying it and you want to have something there for studying and stuff like that, check out AUBDAT. That's AUBDAT, albdat.bandcamp.com. It's all free. Lots of free music. Very nice guy. Go check him out on Twitter as well, TC640B. That's at TC640B on Twitter. Pretty cool guy. Brilliant musician. I'm going to use Splaved. We got 2 players. That's great. I got a prompt here for firing on a tile. Let's try J10 as usual. Oh, something crashed. So something is definitely not going to work here. Oops. Translate. I can't spell. That's the problem. Oh, no, it's supposed to be self. I'm stupid. So I want to go back up here to fire on tile. So see, this doesn't need to be self, right? This is not even really... none of this stuff even needs to be a method in the first place. Because it's not using... That's whatever. So we're going to have to clean up this code big time at some point, because this is just a disaster. Just trying to hack it together for now. But I think we should work now without too much trouble. And then we can use the same, translate to XY for placing the ships. David. Splaved. Alright, so let's go ahead and fire on J10, dude. Oh, really? Didn't work? What have I done? So I just misspelled something again. Number chord is not defined. Number chord. Number chord. Says it right there. Oh, it's probably up here, some nonsense on fire on tile. Yeah, okay, I'm a doofus. I'm a doofus. We want XY, not number chord, letter coordinate. Alright. One more time. Sorry, guys. Some really basic stuff. Have mercy. So one thing I found as a full-time streamer, when you're playing games on stream, it's a whole different experience when you're playing games offline, right? If you're playing games by yourself for your own pleasure, you play differently. And I'm finding it's very true of programming as well. I don't want to just sit here in silence and stare at the screen while I try and solve a problem, so sometimes I'm typing without thinking and causing all kinds of weird issues. I apologize if you guys are aggravated by that. I might be too if I were watching. J10. Boom. Now we're talking. A1. Awesome. Okay, so now everything's working again. So let's kill all this stuff. So now we're going to be placing ships. No, user man. Viewer has no attribute mercy. I'm sorry, user man. Welcome aboard, dude. Yeah, I do apologize, though. I know. So if you were streaming it, you might know how I feel. But yeah, I know that watching a guy type in all this hacky ass code. This looks just horrendous. Just horrendous code. I promise we're gonna come back and clean this up. But for now, I'm just trying to type in stuff and see what sticks. It's more fun to stream it that way than to just like stare at the screen in silence and try and solve these problems for realsies. So now we can place ships now. We have some code for getting coordinates now, right? Translate coordinate to XY. That's kind of handy. So now we can do that. Let's get some X and Y right off the bat. If we want to say, same thing, XY, self, translate chord to XY, the coordinate string. Oh, but it's called coordinate here. Okay, that's fine. Is that just to be, let's just call it coordinate string. Just because we called it that in the other one. Right. So now we have an X and Y from our coordinate string. And we have an orientation, which is great. It's going to be a one-letter, kind of like Fakui's idea of it being an H or a V. That's fine. We have our board. So we can place... Here's where the logic comes in, right? We have to place this Well, it's not going to be that bad, is it? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do like, you know, if orientation is H, then we're going to say, you know, for tile in range ship dot ship size. Yeah, I agree, user man. I've been finding that out. Because I'm not a student. I'm self-taught. One thing I've found over the years is that I overfixate on elegance. Right? I almost love making elegant code more than making working code. Right? To me, that's part of the fun. And as someone who's not professional, it's perfectly fine. Right? I'm not ashamed of that. No one's ever paid me for a product. Right? So I don't mind if I don't ever finish. But what I really enjoy is making beautiful code. But if I focus on that too much, then nothing ever gets done. Right? I find that it's better to probably just get the code working and then go through and clean it up, than it is to worry too much about making it look right or making it, you know, flow correctly, because then you're, you know, they call that what premature optimization, right? You're worrying about solving problems that might not even be a problem by the time you're done. You got to be done first before you can even know what the problems are. I agree, userman. So for tile in range ship.ship size. Okay, so that means for as long as we are not at the ship's size yet, we're going to keep on placing tiles with this ship's, you know, name, effectively. So we have this board. So we're going to have to change a tile's value. So we're going to say, like, you know, board x, y equals you know, ship, and then none, because this is the start of the map, right? It's the start of the game. There is no pegs yet. So if you guys are just tuning in here, each tile on the board is a tuple with only two values. One is the ship that's there, or none if there is no ship there, and the second value is the peg. It's going to be either a hit peg or a miss peg or no peg. Makes a 1,000 length line of chains of list comprehension function calls. Elegant code. Dude, I'm guilty of that, dude. I love it. I love it. I love list comprehensions. Because they're so petite, right? Even though they're not that readable. It's so savage. Like, you want it to be readable, but at the same time, it's so attractive to put that fucking list comprehension there. It's so toit. I also love regexes way too much. All right, I'm sorry. So we got our board here. That's great. Okay, we placed that there. We placed a ship on that tile. So now we're going to say, you know, y equals y plus 1, right? It's hella easy. We're going horizontally, though, right? So we want to have x equals x plus 1. We're going to do it again until we have used up the entire ship's size. You would think that would work, right? That seems too easy. Then we're going to say, you know, elif orientation equals v for a tile in range. You know, we actually do it like this then, right? We can just go, you know, we can do get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. We can just say, you know, if orientation equals h, then do this. elif orientation equals v, do this. Easy. Yeah, I agree, Fakwi. Yeah, never ever nest generators. I don't think I've ever... No, I have. I definitely have. I've definitely nested some generators before, and I regretted it immediately. Yeah, expression element for LM and iterator if condition element reads fine to me most of the time, assuming aren't too complex. Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so let's see here. I feel like this is going to work. I mean, the problem is that if we have no... we have to say, else. Just crash. Just fucking crash, dude. Raise error. Or just raise, right? That's what you do. You raise. Alright, so... I feel like that works, even though it looks like it's too good to be true. So again, supposing that the user entered in a correct coordinate and the orientation is not going to crash everything. It's probably going to try, and we're going to get an index error if we place the ship in the wrong spot. Right? So here's what I want to do then. Before we actually have the player place their own ships, let's place some ships for them programmatically, just to make sure that the function works. Oh god, it's so hideous. I apologize, guys. This logic is just sprawling. So place ship, board, coordinate, orientation, ship. Okay. So when the player gets their board, here's the board. Let's just say ally map dot it's not, it would actually be self dot place ship. That probably should be a part of the board or something else, not just this goddamn. All of our shit is inside the server, right? We could probably divvy these methods out more logically than we have. XY for X in it for Y in FX if X in then. Yeah, I've definitely done that before. There are quite a few iter tools functions that can make otherwise hard to read comps easy to read as well. Yeah, I don't think I ever played. I think I played iter tools once, but I'm not really. I always try and go as low as I can. I know it's not very Pythonic, but I hate relying on code. I don't know. To me, it just kind of obscures things. You have to just read more. You have to go back and read some more documentation than you would normally have to. If it's easy enough to figure out myself, I usually try to. But I know it's not very Pythonic. Self place ship. I want to not equals. I want to place. Can you remind me what these methods are again? Excuse me, the attributes. We need a board first and a coordinate string. Okay. So our board is going to be ally map. That's fine. Then the coordinate is going to be, we're just going to go with A1. And the orientation is going to be horizontal. No, excuse me, a vertical. And then the ship is going to be a new ship. Alright, so the ship has got a name and a size. That's it. So we're going to say, a ship. It's going to be, carrier 5. So now we have one ship placed. That works for me. I can live with that. Now, I feel like, again, I'm kind of anxious here because I'm streaming. I'm not really focusing that much. I know something's fucked. I just don't know what. Let's just, see what's happening. I kind of feel this might work. This might actually place a ship at that coordinate, call it carrier, and all will be well and good. But, I mean, something's got to be broken, right? Do we get a turn, even? We got a turn! Let's fire on B1. Oh, I got a hit! Hey, I can see my ship! Yo, but it's supposed to be vertical, not horizontal. So I must have got X and Y confused, maybe? Okay. That's surprising. That worked really well. Okay, so apparently I have X and Y confused. or something. All right. We placed it vertically, right? Sure, vertical, or V. Which means if we're placing it vertically, we have to iterate Y, right? We iterate Y. Yeah, that would make it place vertically. So I must have my Y's and X's mixed up. That's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about that. So let's just change some function names around. All right, we're going to change that to YX instead of XY. All right, then we're going to return, you know, the same thing, right? We return the same thing. Okay, let's see if this works. Well, first of all, no, I can't place any ships, you know, in game yet, so I can't try and make an error happen that way. All right, so let's relaunch this. Launch a client whose name is David. Launch a client whose name is Splavid. So now we're going to get a turn over here on David's side. All right, so let's fire on tile B1 again. Oops. What happened? Oh, okay, so I got some kind of... Oh, right, I'm sorry. I forgot to change one of the function names. One of the calls, excuse me. So we changed fire on tile. No, we changed the place ships. We gotta change the fire on tile as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, Fakwi, dude, trust me. I am fucking bored of testing it manually. I am bored. It's one of those things, again, where me being on stream and all, I don't really do a lot of automatic testing. So I'm not really that comfortable with it. That's one thing, if this series goes on, you know, if we have enough viewership for programming here, I might ask you guys for help and helping me kind of, you know, get better at that kind of thing. I have played around with unit testing before. I've played with it, but I've never implemented it, you know, in a way that I'm happy with. So it's not actually part of my method yet. Right? It's not part of my method. I wish it were. Okay, no, but see, we have the same problem as last time. So I've done something wrong. I changed too many things here. Okay, well, here's an issue, right? It still says YX, or XY. I want to go YX with fire on tile. But why is it placing the ships so weird? Oh, because of this. YX. Okay, there we go. Oh, really, Fakwi? That's really nice of you, dude. I never really considered, you know, the way that I imagine the series. Again, I'm a variety streamer. I stream games here. I don't really stream a lot of programming on this channel. This is a new series I'm trying out to see how it works for us. You know, see how the viewership is. I really imagine in my head, it'd be a bunch of guys, you know, from my, you know, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike streams, from my Dark Souls streams, hanging out, being bored, maybe chatting about, you know, milk or whatever in the chat. And I'd be bored. And then maybe they'd ask some questions here and there, and I could maybe answer some. I never really imagined I'd get other developers in here. Never considered like doing something, you know, like a cooperative programming. That'd probably be pretty healthy for me to do. So if you guys come back next week, let's put it that way. If you guys come back next week on Friday, where we're going to do more programming, if there's any interest, I will definitely put this on GitHub, and we can work on it as a unit. Okay, so second player, that's fine. Why did it prompt twice? Oh, because, yeah, it's doing that. It does it every few seconds, right? I forgot. All right. Name, Splavin. Okay, so I got 2 players here. Now I think it should place the ship the way I expect. So I'm going to fire on B1. It's going to be a miss. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, something is busted now. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's do like Fakvi was making fun of me earlier and do some more manual testing. I know what happened there. I changed place ship to YX, but I have not changed fire on tile to YX yet. That's why. That's why we had that weird coordinate there. Okay. So let's, now it should work. Now we can place ships, at least programmatically. I'm going to place all the ships, like, across the top, just to make sure we can get all the ships on there. It strikes me that every ship should have a different type of tile. Oh, wait, we have only 1 player? Oh, wow, okay, so Splav is in player 1 this time. Alright, let's fire on B1. But why is it a hit, though? That shouldn't be a hit. Let's fire on B1 from this one. Yeah, it hit nothing. Why do we have a peg there that's a hit? Oh, because old tile. I'm such a doofus. Okay. All right. There. Now it should work. All right. Launch a server again. Client. David. Client. Split it. So I'm thinking I need to, instead of having, here's my problem, right? I'm going to show you guys my problem here. I'm going to fire on tile, B1. Should miss this time. Thank God. Okay, so here's my issue. I have the ships are marked with S's. That's fucking great. The thing is, if I put a bunch of ships side by side, you're not going to be able to tell which ship is which way they're oriented, right? So I should do numerals, right? I should number the ships. In fact, maybe even one day, not now, but maybe one day the player can actually choose the glyph. So let's actually go up here and be like, for our ship, we're going to have a ship name and a ship glyph. Okay. Right, I like that. But now when we're doing the printing the map, we can say, instead of print string equals S, we can say print string equals, column 0, that's the ship glyph. All right. That works. And now we can make the ship glyph whatever we want. So now let's place some more boats. All right, so we're going to say, it's the carrier, its glyph is, C, right, for carrier. Are they all different letters? No, we have a carrier and a cruiser. Let's just call it 1 then. We're going to call the glyph 1. That's ship 1. All right, so now we're going to place another ship. Ally map, starting at B1, going vertically. It's going to be a ship. It's going to be called what? The battleship is 4 and the cruiser is 3. Okay. This is the battleship. Its glyph is 2. Its length is 3. All right. Place ship at C1. It's It's going to be going vertically. It's going to be a ship. We're going to call it the, what did I say, the cruiser. 3. And it's going to be 3. See, I made a mistake. I'm a doofus. This is supposed to be 4 for the battleship. What am I missing now? Now we need a submarine and a destroyer. Gotcha. Alright, so self.place ship, ally map, D1, V, ship, submarine, ship number 4, also 3 long. And then we're going to place a ship at E1 vertically. Shout out to Fakwi. Shout out to Fakwi. It's a brilliant way to place the ships. Much better than my range idea. This is going to be the destroyer. 5. It's going to be too long. Okay, so I think this is going to work. That's going to be awesome. Just awesome. Let's go. Let's kill this. And kill this. And kill. I think if I don't kill them in the right order, then we get like an issue with the sockets. Hell yeah, I will. Good vibe, yeah. I definitely will. Everything I stream goes onto YouTube. Then you can review it if you like. Yeah, good vibe. If you want to do some like some learning, I can definitely teach you. We can do like a separate stream. We have like an event. I mean, you can go through and do some basic programming. That could be fun. All right. We can do some hands-on stuff, not just you watch me type in a bunch of random crap you don't understand. Splave it. Okay, we got 2 players now. Fire on what tile? Let's go with J10. Should be a miss. Hey, see, look, I missed. There's all my ships. Guys, we fucking did it, dude. There's all of our ships. Sick. We should probably try and place some horizontally now as well. And we should try and place some, well, I mean, so far, because this code is just really hacked together as like an example, and we're trying to get things working, we've always assumed that the player will type in something sensible. And if they don't, it crashes, right? We've kind of accepted that reality. Right now, if the player places a coordinate, and like, you know, again, we said J10 earlier, right, Fakwi? If they place it here, it's always going to crash the game. They try and place a boat there. So we probably should. I mean, I don't have a lot of time right now. I think we'll worry about that next time we stream game dev. For now, I want to have the player place the ships and assume they're not going to crash the game. Right? We're not going to do any kind of error handling. We're going to hope they don't crash the game. And then we're going to try and, you know, create like a win state. Right? If we can do that, we will have effectively, even though it's all hacked together and hideous, we will effectively have Battleship. So now we have boat placements. That means our next thing we're going to work on here is ask the player to place the ships themselves. So again, I'm going to very sloppily insert another method into Battleship server. They probably don't need to even be here. We're going to call it, def like pre-game. Right? So we replace our ships, and this is where we need to have a player and a connection. Right? We need a player. We need a connection. All right, and we just prompt them. All we need to do is prompt them for a coordinate string and an orientation, right? Easy, very, very easy. So we're going to say, connection dot send all, coordinate and orientation for carrier. 5. Okay, cool. Good stuff, good vibe. Yeah, again, this is I'm a lifelong hobbyist programmer, right? I'm not educated at all. I've never written anything too elaborate, but I have written, a lot of really fun stuff. mostly in terms of networking. I've written some chat rooms, instant messengers, some downloaders, that kind of stuff. A few little text-based games like this one. As long as you keep your expectations in check, you're going to have a good time. I've never done anything graphical. Well, I mean, I've done a few things that are graphical, but they didn't look too hot. It's not only good for making games and stuff, but good for, automating stuff in your actual life. Python is really powerful. It's very fun to learn. Okay, so we're sending some data there. I actually want to, strip this. Actually, let's do some things. Let's make some variables. Oh, let's do like prompt string. We're going to make it say, coordinate and orientation for blank, blank. Okay. And we're going to want to have, 5 ships. So we're going to say, prompt string dot format carrier 5. There you go. That's kind of a little bit neater. That works. And then we're going to wait to receive it. We have to split it up, though. We have to split it in half. So we're going to say, a place ship. That's self.placeship, excuse me. Self.placeship on player.ally map is the board. And then the coordinate string is going to be, we need to save we need to say like, coordinates and orientation equals connection.receive 1024 bytes, strip it and decode it. Okay, so now we have the coordinate orientation. So we want to say like chord orient we're going to need these ships anyway, right, for pre-game. So let me actually stop right here. And I'm going to make some ships. Let's say a carrier equals a ship. We're going to call it a carrier. And its glyph is going to be a number 1. And, well, no, we're going to actually call them by how long they are, right? We're going to have 2 3s that way, but if they're side by side, it's not the end of the world. Because it can only possibly be 2, right? So you know which way they're facing. So it's like carrier is going to be 5, and its length is going to be 5. In fact, let's actually just make a list called ships, right? And we're going to actually fill it with ships. Okay, so we're also going to have a, what was the other one? Battleship, right? Yeah, the Battleship is going to have a glyph of 4 and a length of 4. Then we need to have a cruiser. Going to have a glyph that's 3 and a length of 3. We're going to need to have a submarine. It's going to have a glyph of 3 and a length of 3. We're going to actually have a destroyer with a glyph of 2 and a length of 2. That's our list of ships. Okay. So I'm going to say for ship in ships, send this prompt. Okay. Now we can place the ship. I want to have everything up through -1. I think that's going to be correct. And then I want just the -1. I'm just actually got to break the line here. Like that. And then the ship is going to be ship. like that. So the map, the coordinates up through -1, or up to -1. And then the orient is the last character. And then ship is the ship we're placing. That seems too easy. I mean, that seems like it should work. Why am I so anxious then? I feel like it shouldn't work. It's too easy. But I think that looks pretty decent. Let's go up here to pregame then. So while true, we have all of our players here, right? So let's go, you know, self.pregame, and we want to have our player and connection. That's all we need for pregame, right? Yeah. It doesn't seem like it should work, but I think it might. So now that's going to ask him for the ships and place all the ships for him. We'll actually get rid of all these ships up here then. And then once all the ships are placed, then we're going to wait for our turn. But here's the thing. Once it's our turn and we fire, if they're not done placing ships yet, we're going to have an issue. We have to wait till they're done placing ships. We have to wait till the game is started. So we need another flag. How about a flag like game has started? There we go. I like that. All right. So we have now the game is always false. It's not started yet. So we're going to say, you know, while self.game started. Oh, but it's gonna just fail, right? It's gonna fail, and then it's gonna just end the game. I don't want that. So let's just go with you know, while true, loop forever. We want to loop forever for sure. I know that much. But we're also gonna say, you know. Oh, well, I know. We can just make it. We can block it, right? We can just make it block. So we're just gonna say while true. You know, if self.game started, or how about, you know, if not self.game started, then time.sleep for 5 seconds. Else, if the game is started, then break. There we go. That'll work. So basically just wait until the game is started. And then if the game is started, then let's fucking go. But how do we know when the game is started? The players have to ready up. The players have to ready up, right? So we don't need a ready. We don't need a game started flag. We need a players ready flag. So let's put it on the players. Battleship player. We're gonna give them like a self.ready equals false. Okay. All right. So once they're done placing their ships in the pregame, we're going to say player.ready equals true. Once they're done placing their ships, they're ready to go. And then we're going to say up here, you know, while true, for player in self.players, if player.ready is false, then continue. Right, that means it'll just loop over itself again. Uh-oh, let's use a list comprehension. No, it's not. That's not. All right, so let's see here. So I want to do like, time.sleep. No, that's not going to help me, right? That's not how I want to do this. We have to make sure they're all ready. We have to say if one player is false, continue. No, sure we can. Yeah, sure we can. We can break right here. No, we can't. That'll break out of the for loop. Matthias Wow says, I can learn Python and get a job being self-taught. I don't know, dude. I never got a job being self-taught. I couldn't tell you. Probably not. In the professional world, you have to have credentials, man. You can't just show up and be like, yo, I'm self-taught. Give me a job. They won't trust you. Why should they believe you know what you're doing? You need to have some credentials showing that you know what you're doing. So you have to have some kind of education. Of course, if you have like a portfolio and you've done good work in the past, you might be able to get a job, sure. It's going to be harder for you, though, probably. That's just my common sense, though. Again, I've never tried it myself, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But it seems to me like if you're self-taught, you're going to need to have something to show for it if you want to try and get a job in development. I agree with Solomon Grundy, yeah. A large impressive portfolio showing that you can do it, you might have a chance, yeah. What word, Solomon? Almost time for tactics. Probably in about half an hour here. We started a bit late, so I'm going a bit late here on the programming. Okay. Well, in defense of the employers, they have to go through a lot of candidates, right? They have to go through a lot of candidates. They don't really have time to evaluate you individually as, based on your skills. They have to have a quick way to tell if you know what you're doing, and they use, that piece of paper for that as a way to kind of sort people out quickly. So if any player isn't ready, then let's just make a variable here. Like, already equals false. Right? If player already is false, then no, it's not going to work. Already is false. Let's actually just say already is true. We'll assume it's true that all players are ready. And if somebody is false, how about this? Already equals false. While not already for player in self.players. How about this? I got to reverse the logic. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not really commentating that well what I'm thinking. But I have to reverse this logic. I want to say, like, someone's not ready is true. While someone's not ready, then, if someone's not ready, then just continue. But, if player.ready is false, then continue. Now see, the problem is I want to continue when they're all ready. Oh, is there an all function? Built-in functions, all. Returns true if all elements of the interval are true. Oh. Well, thank you, Fakui. That makes my life a lot easier. Never heard of that one before. Okay. So, we want to say every time we iterate, we want to check to make sure everybody's ready. So we're iterating here. I'm going to say all ready is all player.ready for player in self.players. What's up, Njord? Yeah, it's Notepad Simulator, bro. Notepad Simulator. I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to say while true up here. It's Battleship, dude, obviously. Thank you, Solomon. You beat me to it. It's Battleship. Okay, so we don't need this then. None of this stuff. So now we have if already. Dude, Fakui's a fucking lifesaver. Then break. That makes that so much easier. In fact, we could actually do it like this. If all player.ready for player and self.players. There we go. Dude, this is a bad place to be when you're drunk, Njord. How's your stream, Njord? What did you guys play? Oh, so sad. Why is that, dude? What happened? So now we're blocking until everyone's ready. I think. Guys, what are we doing? That programming on stream is so hard. All right, I think this might actually work. Maybe. Let's try it. So we got the server. We got a client. I'm David. It's waiting, okay. I can't place ships till I get a second player. That seems weird. I have to fix that. Oh, while not all player.ready time.sleep. But I'm just breaking. Is that the same diff? Or is break just considered to be bad practice? Yeah, yours is. I like yours more. It's fewer lines in any case, right? So yeah, so let's do if not all. There we go. Thanks, guys. Get rid of a line there. Okay. So Njord says, started with a no death round Dark Souls 2, got to Nashandra, died when I was one hit away from the ring. No! 4 hours and 20 minutes in vain. Yo, 420, did you at least blaze it? Then I played some Super Seducer. What the hell is Super Seducer? Which was really fun. Then some, oh, I broke it. What have I done? If not all. No exit from infinite loop. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So all I need then is while not. Oh, I missed it. You said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said that. While not all player.ready for player in self.players. I gotcha. Even more lines gone. Yeah, thank you, Mr. 3AID. I'm not sure we met, dude. Welcome aboard. I'm David. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the tip. Played with a character that was 200,000 soul memory only. Makes it even more sad. I'm sorry, Njord. That does sound like a heartbreak. But what the hell is Super Seducer? Sounds like fun. Okay, so now we've got that going. I think this should still work. Okay, well... Oh, I got 2 Davids. But that's still cool. I think it doesn't think that really matters. So now we're both entering coordinates, right? Or am I wrong about that? Yeah. Okay, this is kind of sick. Let's go with A1V for the carrier. Oh. Well, that's not right. Why is it asking for the carrier again? B1V? C1V? D1V? E1V. Oh. Well. Oh, yeah, I got you, because I didn't change. I gotta fix that right now. It's this. It's just the text. It's not the actual logic. Right here's the problem. For ship and ships, I want to say, ship name, and then ship size. Okay. This is so fucking hideous. I'm just gonna leave that line super long. I apologize. What's up, Justin? Well, we placed all of our ships. They're all vertical like last time. Let's make them all horizontal on this side, I guess. So we're gonna go with A10H, then A9H. Uh-oh, that was J. We crashed it. No! It's okay. I put in raise incorrectly. It gave me an error for using raise wrong. That's funny. Let's actually break all this stuff down. That's fine. We can actually get the, we can test to make sure it's actually printing off the prompts correctly now anyway. Because our prompt was bad. Super Seducer is a game about how to pick up girls. In the street, in a cafe, in a bar, as a friend, and so on. Really fun, educational, and fun at the same time. For example, can you watch me cat for the weekend? Yeah, then you can do me a favor and suck my dick. Oh my god, Njord. Jesus Christ. Kingdom 7, huh? Alright, so we got a client now. David. S strings for the win. Alright, second player can join in now. This one's gonna be Splaved. Alright, I thought we were entering coordinates again. Let's not mistype it this time. Because I don't have any way to catch that. I'm gonna lower the volume here a little bit. On my friend's ambient music here. This song is especially resonant. Alright, so I guess we're gonna place these ones all vertically. That means we're going to start off with A1. Right? Oops. Oh, I'm supposed to enter A1H. Poop! Okay, so let's kill this again. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm a doofus. It's so stressful being on stream. Let's try it again. Alright, so the name is going to be David. Kingdom 7. I'm not sure about the name, but it really sounds like a game you would enjoy a lot. It's amazing. From the 90s. I love old games, dude. You know I love retro games. Alright, so let's launch this again. This is going to be Splaved. Okay, so now we're going to place all these ships vertically. Well, I was mentioning to our friend Fakui earlier, Solomon, that we're not going to stay in text. The idea is to finish up the text and then move on to web-based UI. Yeah, I know Mr. 3M, what's that? Mr. M. Reed, maybe? M. Reed? Mr. 3Ad? Yeah, I'm self-taught. I'm still kind of a noob. I've been doing this for many, many years, though, but I don't really have a good method. King's Quest 7. Oh, like a adventure game. So, coordinates. We want A1V. And then B1V. C1V. D1V. E1V. Okay, that's all my ships. Now this one we want excuse me. A10H. A9H. A8H. A7H. A6H. Now we have a game. Okay. So everybody's ready now, right? Yo, let's go!
So I want to fire on a tile that's going to miss. These are all the horizontal ones of my enemies, right? So I want to fire on
like J10 I know has nothing on it. You look at all my ships, dude. They're placed vertically, right where I placed them. Oh my god. It's Mr. Ass in Russian. English students call me Mr. 3AD or something. I'm gonna call you Mr. Ass then. Now that I know the truth. Njord says, kill them all, win the game. 1k damage on them all. Good idea, Njord. I should implement that in the game here. Alright, so those ships got placed correctly. Let's check the horizontal ones here. What kind of help do you need, Njord? You need to get some rest, Njord. You sound drunk as hell. Get some sleep, homie. I'm going to put a shot now on J1, upper right-hand corner. And there's all my ships placed vertically where I put them. Yo, thank you, Fakui, for the help, dude. If not for your brilliant advice regarding how to place them, that would have been a lot more difficult. My idea of using ranges was really, really dumb. Unsurprisingly, I'm not super smart. But okay, so now we should be able to actually hit our opponent's boats, right? Let's try and hit some boats before we move on to actually having the game be winnable. So fire on what tile? We know where the ships are, right? So I want to fire on A10. Okay, there's a hit. Now you fire on A1. There's a hit. Okay. Now you fire on A8. No, A9. Okay, there's another hit. You fire on A2. There's a hit. Okay. So now I'm confident we have this all coded correctly, right? We're hitting ships, we're missing ships. That's what you want. So now I want to actually have the ships get sunk, and when all the ships are sunk, the game is over. That's what I want. So it strikes me, we have a problem, right? The players don't own the ships. That's an issue. The players should own all their own ships. So right now we're making the ships here in the pregame. Nah, son. Let's just make them when we make the players. Let's copy paste all this shit. Yeah, I agree with Salmon. Drink some water, dude. Njord says, help needed is how to play so enthusiastically. Sorry, that word is hard as hell. In a game like this. Seriously, this is not... I'm not really playing a game. I'm making a game. So I'm not really streaming gameplay right now. We have a kind of different audience right now, actually. I have some developers here. It's not really like a gaming stream right now. If you're new here, we are a gaming stream on this channel. We're really a gaming stream. But here we're doing some programming. I enjoy, programming in a different way than I enjoy gaming. So we have a player here, right? We want to give him a username and a map. That's all well and good. And some ships. So we're going to say self.ships equals this. So now my dude's got some ships. Everybody has their own ships now. Right? And when all their ships are sunk, then the game is over. We had to subtract their HP too. Let's do that real quick. So let's go back on here to, pregame. We're going to say first ship in player dot ships now. Okay, that's all well and good. Good. So now when we, let's say we fire on a tile, right? Now we place a tile. Right. So we have a hit here. This is where we have the hit logic. Njord says, what you want to do is put a nuclear bomb in the sea and sink them all, right? Good idea, Njord. So it's our game, we can do that someday. My plan for this game is to one day have our own rules and have different variants and kind of goof off, make some silly stuff. For now, I'm trying to clone the basic game. Njord says, I'm so drunk, I can't even tell from playing a game from creating a game. Yeah, Njord, we were playing the game we're making. That's like a little tester on there. That's why we sunk that ship. You're making a game here, and then we sunk a game. We sunk a ship there to test it. Now we're implementing some actual sinking logic, though. Before we had no ships that could sink. Now we're going to be sinking them. So if we get a hit, we're going to leave the ship there. So we're changing the peg there to a hit peg. But also we're going to say, old tile 0. That's the ship. dot HP equals old tile 0. Dot HP minus 1. You lost some health, homie. Deal with it. Now, the issue is we're going to be able to fire in the same spot. Right? You can just fire in the same spot over and over again and sink the ship. We're going to assume you're not going to do that for now. We're going to come back next Friday and finish it up, and we're going to forget about that exploit. I guarantee we're going to forget it before we fix the bug. In fact, let me put a note here real quick. You can fire on the same spot repeatedly and sink a ship. Actually, put this here. But yeah, right now you can sink the ship pretty easily by doing that. But we're going to ignore that for now. So if you get a hit, the ship loses HP. We're going to assume you're going to be hitting different tiles every turn. And then when the HP is 0, I want to return some kind of message, right? I want to say, you know, battleship sunk or whatever. Or ship sunk. So how are we going to implement that? Because fire on tile really just returns to board. It doesn't handle any kind of message printing. How are we going to tell somebody that a ship got sunk? If HP is 0, what do you do? Well, I have a... no, it's not going to work. Because our logic is so bad, right? Our logic is so poorly laid out right now. That's the issue. Like, the firing function has no way to report if a ship got sunk. That's our issue right now. It just returns a new board, you know, for us to print out. So in other words, I used to play that in Alphabet with my grandmother, and she used to put me in front of a clock and guess what when 1 minute had passed, and give me coffee. I've been drinking coffee since I was 5. Oh, you haven't been drinking coffee since you were 5. Put you in front of a clock and guess when a minute had passed. If you're in front of a clock, wouldn't that be easy? Or you mean you have your eyes closed, maybe? If you had your eyes open, it'd be a really easy game. Venka predicted this and destroyed your entire fleet. Venka is not the world's president. It's still going to become the president of the universe. It's a good idea, Njord. We should do that. But first, we got to find a way to report anything from this function. So, I'm going to do something really dirty here. Thankfully, the camera's not rolling, so you guys can look in my eyes while I do it. I'm going to return something disgusting. I'm going to return a board and then a sunken ship. I'm sorry, guys. Avert your eyes. You guys are devs. Avert your eyes. That's disgusting. But yeah, so I'm going to say, you know, if old tile 0 dot HP equals 0, then sunken ship equals old tile 0. We're going to go up here and we're going to start off with a default value of none. Sunken ship equals none. Oh my god, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This code is fucking disgusting. But, you know, it gets the job done. Okay, so now we have a tuple getting returned from the fire on tile. So we're going to say, you know, new board, sunken ship. Oh, really, Fakwi? Yeah, you kind of mentioned that before. I'm sorry, dude. Let me fix that for you. So your eyes can stop bleeding. There you go. There you go. I'm sorry, Fakwi. Dry your eyes. of blood. Okay, so new board, sunken ship equals self.fire on tile. Oh my god, this code. Dude, I'm so embarrassed. You guys can even see this. Alright. That's great. That's just fucking great. Okay. So now, their board is going to be the new board. Here we're printing the map off. Oh my lord. This logic is just gross. We're printing the board off here. And then we're going to also add some more stuff here. Why not? We're going to say, like, you know, and then a sunken ship line. Right? We're going to say, you know, if sunken ship, you know, sunken ship text equals you sunk the player's ship. We're going to format that with the opponent's name, but it's not called name, right? It's called, like, what, player name probably? Where is it? Username. And then we want the ship's name, right? So we're going to say sunken ship.ship name. Okay. Else sunken ship text is nothing. Jesus. The long lines. Yo, since I'm drunk all the time, should I cut one eye out? Because every time I'm drunk, I have to one eye open when I close to see stuff. Oh my god, Nero, don't do it, dude. Go to bed where you cut an eye out with your drunk ass. Alright, so, I think that might work. Oh no, we have to place all the ships manually again. It's okay. F, you sunk opponent's name. Oh. Well, I mean, shit, let's do that then. That starts in Python 3.6, or is that a Python 3 thing? I'm pretty sure I'm in 3.6. I'll fix this down here then, too, later, if that works. Okay, we need some line breaks, though. Well, this is... I'm sorry about the indentation, guys. I know I should break it into little functions so it's not all indented this far. I'm sorry, guys. I think strings... Oh, yeah, it's just not going to work anyway. Oh, my lord. No. Let's just do it like this. Guys. Forgive me. Thank God the guys that watch the stream normally aren't devs. Okay, so I'm going to... I think that strings get plugged in together. They get added together automatically, right? They don't need like a plus sign. It's a 3.6 thing. Okay, we're going to see if it works at all. I'm not totally sure I'm on 3.6. I'm pretty sure. I'm happy you feel that way, Justin. Because I feel like if I were you, I'd be mad bored. I'm pretty sure you don't need to have a plus sign, right, to add together strings inside of a... if they're side by side like that. Alright. Ugh, my god, that's so hideous. Oh my god. I can't even look at it. Alright, so let's... we gotta fix this code, guys. We gotta make some functions. There are so many methods in, you know, Battleship server that don't need to be there. They should be somewhere else. Oh my god. have no idea what Njord's talking about. Get some rest, Njord. You're drunk. Have a good night, homie. Thank you, Fakui. That's what I thought. All right, David. Name, I think, Splavid. Okay. So the carrier, we want to have these ones be all horizontal from the bottom. We start at the bottom, now we're here. So we're going to go to A10H, A9H, A8H, A7H, A6H. Okay? We're going to go up here, we're going to say A1V, B1V, C1V, D1V, and E1V. Okay. Only string literals, though. Yeah. Not. You wouldn't just be able to put the, the references side by side, of course. Njord's so drunk he understands Python. He understands programming. Okay, so we're going to fire on a tile here. We know that they're along the bottom, so I'm going to go with A10. Okay, it's still working so far. I don't see my blank line. There's supposed to be a new line there. Let me go double check here. Something's already wrong, right? Supposed to be a new line there, and then the sunken ship text. Where's the new line? Right, because before this used to be up here, so the new line did appear, because there used to be a bug where this prompt would appear up here, so we got a new line there. Okay, so we know this guy's ship starts on A1. Okay, cool. So now we're going to fire on tile B10. Okay. So now it's our turn over here. Okay, so I'm going to fire on tile A2. Okay, so there's our hits, and there's their hits. Should have just fired on the smallest one, right? The smallest ship, whatever. Whatever. So I'm going to fire on tile C10. Okay. I'm going to fire on tile A3. Okay. We're sinking the biggest ships to test. That's funny. I'm a doofus. D10. Okay, it's my turn now over here after a minute. There we go. We're going to fire on tile A4. So now we both have 4 hits on our respective carriers. All right. I'm going to fire on tile A, B, C, D, E10. That should sink the ship. Boom! Yo, let's go! We did it, boy. We sunk Splavid's carrier. And fire on tile A5. Yo. Clap back, bitch! I sunk your carrier. Njord says, Python, well, I guess it's programming, but yeah, sober or drunk. My computer stuff is limited to put a computer together. Programs, that's like speaking Chinese to me. I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of like software more than hardware. Okay. So we're sinking ships now, boys. That's pretty sick. But I'm already late to end my stream. We should get tactics started here. So next Friday, guys, I'm going to go through and do some more work on this program. We need to, of course, squash a lot of bugs, make the code look a lot nicer, but also we need to do a couple things, right? We need to make sure that when the enemy takes their turn, I should see the map, right? It makes no sense to only see the map when you take your turn, because you want to see where your opponent fired, right? Before you picked where you want to fire. So we need to actually have more boards printing off more often. Whenever we start our turn, we should see the board, and we end the turn, we should see the board. Also, we have to have the game be finishable. Right now, there's no logic to see if all the ships are sunk. If all the ships are sunk, then the game has to end, right? And someone's the winner. Once we have that done, we will have Battleship working. It'll be buggy as hell. There'll be a million ways to crash it, but it will be working. Then we can go through and fix bugs and make the code look nicer. That'll be on next Friday around this time, from around 6 to around 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern time. Do I do tests at all? I was telling Fakui earlier that I wish I did. I've played with unit tests before, but I've never actually made unit testing a part of my method. So no, I usually do a lot of manual testing, just because I'm not really comfortable writing unit tests yet. A curses version of Battleship. Dude, I fucking love curses. How do you test a curses app? There's probably a scriptable way to send inputs to standard in, right? Isn't that what curses does usually? Reads from standard in for text? Or do you mean, oh, you want to click on things too, though? You want to click on things? Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a way to do it, though. I'm sure there's a way to do it. The most interesting thing in life I can think about is sinking ships. Dude, I love sinking ships, bro. So yeah, so we're going to come back next week and do some more work on this, guys. Again, I apologize because our devs, I didn't really think any devs are going to watch. Those are going to be mostly just a bunch of guys that are into, my gaming content. But yeah, I know the code is really hella ugly and really buggy. But with your guys' help, I probably get better at programming too. We could actually have this be like an educational time for me, right? I thought it could be like, educational for guys who never programmed before in their life, right? But it could be, even more educational for me as a guy that's been a hobbyist programmer for my whole life, but never had any formal training. I have a lot to learn. Oh my God, Njord. Yeah, guys, as usual, if you enjoy hanging out here, you want to keep the channel online, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Vencabot, where even $1 is a huge help, man. I stream 40 hours a week, so that dollar on Patreon every month goes a long way toward making the stream more sustainable, put the taco in my belly, make the stream feel like it's getting somewhere. You also subscribe on Twitch, if you're not already subscribed. But if you're like me, you're totally broke, right? You don't have a whole lot of money kicking around, especially for a streamer. You have your Netflix for $8 a month, right? It's kind of hard to compete with that. Help for free in that case. I totally understand. No hard feelings. Get in the chat, come say hi is a great way to help out. It makes it a lot more fun for me and everybody to be here for 40 hours a week. You also follow on Twitch if you're not already following. Tell your friends we're here and save clips of highlights you enjoy. So we're usually a gaming stream, so it's like close calls, funny stuff, sick combos, photo finishes. It's really good for promotional stuff like on highlight reels on YouTube. It's good for social media like Twitter. It's good for my break screens you're going to see here in a minute. Makes it a bit more lively. The clips are really cool for getting new guys on the channel. I really appreciate those. Speaking of which, check out my YouTube channel, guys. I have all of my past streams archived there in 1080p, 60 frames, including Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and Bloodborne, and Neo, all blind plays, as well as some horror stuff like Dead Space and The Evil Within. We have retros like Sonic the Hedgehog, Commander Keen, Metal Gear Solid, Nights into Dreams, Ninja Gaiden and NES, and plenty more retros. We have AAA stuff like The Last of Us and GTA 5, and indies like 20XX, Dropsy, Tokitori, and Omega Strike, and more. As well as online stuff, like me and my friends playing GTA Online, playing Fortnite Battle Royale, and Dungeons & Dragons. My friend Overlord Steve was the DM there for my first time ever playing D&D. It was a lot of fun on stream. Pretty cool. I put a lot of work into the channel on YouTube. Go check it out. Just search for Vencabot on there. You'll find me. I'm the only guy on there named Vencabot. If you're on the browser version of Twitch, you can look below my stream for the panels down there for my big YouTube link. I'm going to go for a short break here, guys. Come back with some Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll see you guys very shortly. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ass. And thank you, Fakui, for your help especially. I really didn't think that I was going to have some guys in here helping me out. Without your help, I would not have gotten this far today. Yeah, I'm sorry, Njord. I know if you're not a native English speaker, the fast talking is probably even harder to understand, but I can't help it. I'm a super fast talker. Especially the drunk, non-English speaking people. Yeah, guys, up next is Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll see you guys very shortly. So Justin says, when I was in school, we had to program a working calculator. That was midterms, I believe. On Craigslist? Sounds like fun. Or wherever, on, OkCupid or wherever. What'd you program in? Probably basic? And, yo! My dude just grabbing elixirs like it's nothing. He said, oops, I got an elixir. I love people are like, I only date black guys. I only date white guys. It's not racist. It's just a preference. Well, yeah, Njord, you're great at English, dude. You have very strong English skills. If you guys aren't already following Njord, go check him out. Njord does a very cool stream there at Njord_SE. He streams all kinds of cool games over there, like Dark Souls 2 and Hearthstone and Overwatch. He streams in English and Swedish. If he's got English guys in his chat, he will stream in English. But yeah, he's fluent in English, of course, fluent in Swedish. Very nice guy, very enjoyable stream. He tends to drink while streaming and having a great time usually. He's a very enjoyable drunk. But take care of yourself, bro. Take care of yourself. Don't overdo it. All right, let's see here. I want to go all the way down here. What? 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 That might be kind of buggy there.